What's up?
What's up, viewers? Today we will settle one of the greatest debates in black culture. What is the top black sitcom of all time? And no, it ain't The Cosby Show. To do that, we're gonna break down some of the best shows in black comedy history. Rate them, rank them, until only the best remains. For our list, a black sitcom is any American situational comedy that mainly features a black cast. We will judge the shows on 6 categories: cultural impact, mainstream popularity, theme song, overall humor level, how it dealt with very special episodes, and overall blackness. But before we can crown the sitcom GOAT, we've got to take out the trash. And while you can't deny that black sitcoms are amongst the best shows that have ever aired, they haven't all been winners. Now to start, we could talk about how misguided, offensive, and dumb shows like Homeboys in Outer Space, The PJs, and The Secret Life of Desmond Pfeiffer are, but
Ain't nobody got time for that.
so we'll just talk about the best of the worst for all of their sins. And that show is, without a doubt, The Jamie Foxx Show. Hey, don't blame us, Jamie. On The Jamie Foxx Show, he basically played himself, and the joke centered on Jamie either shooting his shot at Fancy or taking shots at Braxton. The theme song is bland and received the lowest score of any song that actually had lyrics, but somehow it got 5 seasons. I guess it must have been the catchphrases. To get out of the garbage tier, we'll stay in LA but go from an actor trying to get ahead to 3 teens in Watts just trying to get by. The series What's Happening followed Raj, Dwayne, and Rerun and was the first black teen show to crack the top 30 and therefore was a pioneer for its time. The show has heart and soul but suffers from formulaic jokes. That's not the cast's fault though. What's Happening's cast had many strikes, boycotts, and walkouts over its writing and production. Though not beloved by the mainstream, the fact that What's Happening was the first show to be revived with its full cast is a testament to its classic status. The next spot up is the first of 2 appearances by Sherman Hemsley on the list, and one of the reasons that he's considered an icon in black comedy. Can I get an amen? A-Man is a show that revolves around Hemsley's Ernest Fry, who is basically George Jefferson if Wheezy died and George became a lawyer and somehow found religion along the way. The humor addressed issues of church and family and celebrated the black community. Velma's man-hungry come-ons to the handsome new pastor.
Reverend, you think Amelia's gonna teach us how to give mouth to mouth?
Don't hold up nearly as well as Sherman's slapstick, which is absolutely timeless. But what it lacks in writing punch, it more than makes up for in the feel-good. And ain't that what this list is all about? Now that we're done going to church, we find ourselves at the last slot on our good tier. And to get there, we had to go from a Hail Mary to a... Hi, Mary. 227 starred the aforementioned Mary Jenkins, played by Jeffersons alum Florence Henderson, and her brash neighbors in their DC apartment.
No place like home. With your family around you, you're never alone.
227 is notable because while it may not feel like it, from the assertiveness of Mary to the sex and body positivity of Jackie to the fact that it was the first show with 4 black female leads, 227 was feminist as hell and groundbreaking. Our next show just barely squeaks into the great category, but it should be much higher. It is easily one of the greatest black sitcoms of all time. Blackish is a brilliant show, full stop. But that alone might be enough mojo for other lists. But around here, you show up to a black sitcom list without a good theme song or one at all, and that's enough to keep you from boxing with the gods. A lack of bop for a theme is not the only flaw though. We've seen the rich black family out of water before, but Blackish is the first time the black family critiqued the water as opposed to just swimming in it. Put simply, Blackish has more awards and nominations than many other shows on this list combined, and that's not by accident. Okay, y'all, keep your heads up, because now we're going from a show with no theme to one that has one of the best of all time. The cast of Living Single felt like your friends, and that might be because the show was created as a direct answer to the 90s juggernaut Friends. But what made Living Single important is while Friends agonized over the single life, Living Single celebrated it. Throughout its run, Living Single was one of the most popular black sitcoms amongst black people of its era, and no list would be complete without Khadijah and crew. Next, we go from the cool kids who everyone wanted to live with to a guy whose own son couldn't wait to move out. And why was that? Because Fred Sanford was created to be as loud, bigoted, and brash as Archie Bunker, and Red Fox played him to perfection. Sanford and Son was the story of Lamont Sanford and his dad, the emotionally manipulative Fred.
Never had pains like this before. Oh, this is the worst one I ever had, son. Oh, it's the worst one. This is a big one.
It was a ratings powerhouse. It landed in the top 5 for 5 of its 6-year runs. At times jarringly racist and predictable, the slapstick brilliance of Red and the banter between the cast elevates this show to the well-deserved place amongst our greats. So the first show to hit God tier is a show whose premise I'm surprised got greenlit, let alone became a rating sensation. Okay, here's the pitch. How about a Perfect Strangers spinoff featuring a black nerd in red suspenders creeping on the girl next door?
Did I do that?
Well, yeah, Steve, you did. See, Family Matters was a smash hit because it was the happy, wholesome TGI answer to the edgier, more socially conscious sitcoms of the day. The show revolves around the Winslow family and their annoying neighbor, Steve Urkel. Wacky neighbor who drives family insane is super done. But what made Family Matters special is the genuine warmth that emanated from the cast. The show was full of vibes that showed that Family Matters was more than a title. It was a statement.
You love me, don't you?
Now, if Steve Urkel and Laura Winslow were anything like most black teens in the 90s, they wanted to leave their world and go to school like the one in our next show.
It's a different world. Ooh, and where you come from. The city is now. Yeah.
A Different World is the story of a group of students at a historically black university. As simple of a premise as it sounds, A Different World is nothing short of one of the most important shows in the history of black TV. How important? During its run, enrollment at HBCUs grew at a rate almost 50% better than all other higher forms of education. A Different World didn't invent black college culture, but it did reinvent pop culture's understanding of it. Hey, yo, we started from the bottom and we here, yo, on the list. Yo, we gonna keep it popping. People already go with number 6.
What the hell is wrong with you people? And stop the damn dancing!
All right, Huey. Damn.
I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration that made ladies sing the blues.
The Boondocks is the only animated show to make the list, and it centers on 2 brothers, Riley and Huey Freeman, who have culture shock when they're uprooted from Chicago to move to the suburbs. But this satire is so much more than that. We are offered the sometimes dueling black perspectives on black culture and pop culture from the eyes of the socially conscious Huey and the problematic Riley. The Boondocks is brilliant because it forces the viewer to reflect on the fact that there's a bit of both brothers in us all. Now we find ourselves at number 5, and it's the last of the God tier and just a notch underneath the GOAT. So out of respect, I'm just gonna play the song. Oh, my bad. I meant this song.
It's not unusual to be
All right, I'm gonna quit playing. Hit the song.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spend most of my days.
The Fresh Prince of BEL-AIR was the perfect platform for Will Smith's effortless charm and charisma, and launched him straight into the realm of international superstardom. The fish out of water premise has been done to death, but what made Fresh Prince of BEL-AIR different from other sitcoms was that it was silly, and it knew it. In a genre that only seemed to know how to be overly edgy or overly wholesome, The Fresh Prince wasn't afraid to break the fourth wall and laugh at itself. And now we've made it to the GOATs, the 4 greatest black sitcoms of all time, and look how far we've come. From the depths of the PJs to the heights of BEL-AIR. Good times, right? Well, I know our number 4 show would agree. Good Times is the story of a black family in the 70s attempting to overcome poverty in Chicago's Cabrini Green's projects. And family is an important word for Good Times because amongst its many firsts, like being the first spin-off of a spin-off to ever air on TV, it was TV's first black two-parent family sitcom. The resilience and authenticity of the Evans family is what makes this show good enough to make you say, damn, damn, damn! Now my sense is that a lot of you came into this list thinking that our next show would be number one. But this show, like Blackish, boasts a theme score that's just low enough to keep it out of the top 2. The Cosby Show is the story of a black upper-middle-class family living in Brooklyn, and when it premiered in 1984, it literally changed television forever. It was such an instant smash that it almost single-handedly revived the sitcom genre and saved NBC. How big of a smash was it? The Cosby Show spent 5 consecutive seasons as the #1 rated show on TV, period. It was nominated for 60 major awards and won 55. But the biggest value of The Cosby Show was the representation. The impact of seeing a functional, successful black family in prime time influenced the lives of black peoples for generations to come. Our next show is one of the most important black sitcoms of the 90s, and even though it has the most prolific black comedic actor since Eddie Murphy in his absolute prime, still there's one show that just edges it out.
Hold up! Hold up! Hold up!
Bruh, your theme song only got 7 words. In Martin Lawrence plays shock jock Martin Payne in a show that focuses on his romantic relationship with his girlfriend Gina and their smart-mouth friends Pam, Tommy, and Cole. Most folks will point to Martin Lawrence's unprecedented ability to create iconic characters as the secret behind its smash success, but no, it's more than that. The truth is, the main cast of Martin is the most comedically gifted ensemble cast on this list. If Martin Lawrence was performing at Michael Jordan levels, the rest of the cast was performing like the '96 Bulls. Okay, so you saw Cosby at 3, and Martin at 2. And if you love black sitcoms as much as I do, you know there's really only one show left, right? But for the rest of you, the top black sitcom of all time is The Jeffersons.
Fish don't fry in the kitchen. Beans don't burn on the grill. Took a whole lot of trying just to get up that hill.
The show centered around George and Weezy Jefferson, an upwardly mobile black couple who were finally able to afford to move from Queens uptown to Manhattan. Now, when it comes to awards and accolades, the Jeffersons' stats are gaudy and with good reason. It ran for 11 years, making it the second longest running black sitcom of all time, and its ratings remained high throughout its run. It was nominated for 14 Emmys alone, and Isabel Sanford's portrayal of Weezy made her the first black actress to win for Best Comedic Actress. And, most amazing of all of its jokes still hold up today. The Jeffersons is about as funny today as it ever was. Iconic, influential, and nearly immortal. The Jeffersons is the top black sitcom of all time. Okay, George, go ahead and take a victory dance. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from View the Right Thing, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of all of our latest videos.